He's like, you sure, sweetheart, we can? I'm like, no, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. Just get me, just get me the, just get me that. Just get... With the rising prices in the supermarkets, I have been searching high and low for different ways to save money on our grocery bills as a family. One of our big ticket items is meat. That is a good bulk of our grocery budget. And so I have been hearing over and over, oh, why don't you try X place? It has really good prices on meats. I have never been one to shy away from finding budget friendly places and finding different ways to save money. So, having never gone to this particular place, I'm like, sure, okay, I am going to try this store. So, I set a date in mind and I get myself ready for the usual supermarket run. I gather my bags and everything, and I'm all set to go. I walk into this supermarket, and the first thing I notice is there are a lot of senior citizens. I don't think I have ever seen so many senior citizens in one business place, except when I was working at the bank and I manned the senior citizen line. I did do a story time on some of my weird or crazy experiences working as a teller at the bank. I will link that above, but that is a story for that day. So I noticed these senior citizens a lot more than usual, and I'm like, this is interesting. I've never seen that before, but I mean, hey, maybe this is just a place that senior citizens frequent for whatever reason. After gathering all my items, I'm standing in line, and there is an older gentleman behind me. So he comes up and he says, excuse me, sweetheart. And for some reason, everybody's calling you sweetheart. I am, well, calling me sweetheart. And he says, like, my back is hurting. Can I go ahead up front? So if that were my granddad, I would want someone to give him the go ahead to check his groceries. So he moves ahead of me and checks his groceries, which happened to be a bag of fish among other things. The bag of fish is leaking all over the counter in front. When he's finished cashing, the cashier says, you can go ahead and pack out your stuff, sweetheart. I'm looking at the whole counter full of fish juice, and I'm going, sure, can you just wipe the counter a bit for me? And he goes, no problem, sweetheart. And he takes out the dingiest rag I have ever seen in my life. I'm not about to be like, causing problems. I'm like, I will just, mentally I'm saying, you know what? I will just do some extra sanitization of my groceries when I go home. So let me just cash and just keep it pushing. The next lady behind me, she taps me on my shoulder, who is also an older lady. She's standing beside, I guess you would call it like a mobile chair. She's standing and she's holding on to this mobile chair, but on her mobile chair is her box, like a cardboard box of her groceries. And she says, excuse me, sweetheart, can you just move the box for me so I can sit down? Of course, not a problem. Because if that were my grandma in the supermarket, I would hope that someone would be kind enough to assist and move her box. So I moved her box out of the way. She proceeded to sit down on the motorized chair beside me. So I'm cashing my items. The gentleman cashier is doing his thing. Then he looks up and he says quite casually to the lady, the senior lady, why did you go ahead and do that to yourself, miss? He said it so casually that I didn't think that anything at all was amiss or out of sorts. When I looked over to the side, the lady had sat down right on her mobile chair and urinated. It was all over the floor and it was pooling beside my shoe. And I'm there saying to myself, okay, I'm willing to do anything, almost, except to stand in a pool of urine for somebody who's not my grandma. Like, not even my grandpa, not even my grandma. Let me just step to the side. I step to the side, I try to move out of range. And so everybody's just standing there, they're calling for somebody to try to come and find a mop and mop the place and tidy up and stuff like that. A gentleman who works at the place comes, he sees this box, they ask him to move the box out of the way. He proceeds to drag it through what he sees as a puddle of water. He just drags it through this puddle of water and everybody's like, no, that's urine. He's like, oh, it's urine. Oh, and he lifts the box and he just rests it onto something. And it's like, okay, you know what? This is becoming a bit much for me. This is becoming a lot more than I bargained for because I was not ready. No one prepared me. No one told me what to expect. There was no preemptive conversation. So I was not ready for all of this. So I'm just mentally thinking, okay, just cash my groceries so that I can just get my stuff and head out. And one of the things I had, what I thought I was purchasing was meat in bulk. And so, I mean, I was so frazzled, like when he was finished cashing, I just grabbed my receipt and I was supposed to go to a particular door to collect my bulk meat. Somebody came, collected the receipt, took it to the bank and came back and said, well, I mean, he only cashed you for a regular size portion and you can just get that from the front, or do you want to hold on and we cash you another bulk portion? I'm like, you know what, it's okay, I'll just get the regular size stuff and I will go. It's fine, not a problem. He's like, you're sure, sweetheart, we can? I'm like, no, it's cool. Just get me the meat. Just get me the meat. I mean, that wasn't me on the outside. That was me on the inside, because literally I had gotten to about here in terms of, there was just too much happening and it was very crowded and there were just people all around and so it was just a lot going on. And when he brought me my stuff and he's like, oh, you want some help, sweetheart, to take you outside and pack away your stuff, but I don't want you to strain. And I said, you know what, it's fine, I can manage. And I put one bag on one shoulder, I just gathered all my stuff and I just hightailed it out of that supermarket. The question you might be asking is, will you do it again? What I will say is that I won't say no. I won't say I will never. What I will say is that before I do that, I'm gonna have to make quite sure that I am ready. Because clearly, from that experience, I knew without a shadow of doubt that I was not ready. And that is my very weird and uncomfortable experience going bargain hunting. What about you guys? Have you ever had a very unique experience hunting for bargains, hunting for cheaper prices? What are some of your weird experiences? Leave them in the comments below. Let me know I'm not the only one who have these things happen to them from time to time. As usual, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next leg of the journey. Bye!